Good morning, everybody. This is Vince with Listings to Leads, and we're going to get started here in just a second. But can you let me know in the chat panel, can you hear me and can you see my screen? You should be able to. Hopefully that works. But if you can just put a note in the questions. Oh, okay, good. Yes. Thanks, Jeff. Okay, let me turn on the recording software. Oh, it's on. It's on. So let's just get this show rolling. Good morning, everybody. I'm Vincent Meza. This is Listings to Leads, and today is our get started call. So this is usually for new clients who are signing up with us and want to learn how to use the platform. A lot of our older clients will come back and check in and see what's new and what's happening. So just as a high level, we're real estate advertising. We have great tools for social media. We have great tools if you have listings, you need to get them sold. All of our tools are designed to capture leads. We have 80 PDF guides, 40 for buyers, 40 for sellers, multiple ways of getting those out. And also we have landing pages like what is your home worth and new construction, first time home buyer, avoid foreclosure. We even have landing pages for expires and for FSBOs. So if you have listings or if you don't have listings, we have tools to help you get along. So when we go into the system, there's a navigation bar over here, right on the left. Listings, ads, ad software, PDF guides, social content, landing pages, and client reviews. These are like the working areas. Before we go into all that and look at all that, I want to show you something. I get a report here every Monday, and it shows us what's going on with our clients, what they're doing, right? So we see quick metrics. And I want to point out, and I actually sent a message to Kevin this morning, but Kevin over the weekend has generated 67 leads for his open house. Okay. This is a open house sign-in form, and it's something that we auto-generate for every open house. And you leave it open on a laptop. And if people are coming through, you just say, hey, could we get your feedback on this house? And click a couple buttons, put their information there. They're going to get a mobile optimized website, and you, the agent, are going to get a lead with their information, right? Now, Jennifer also did the same thing. She got 23 leads, not as many as 67, but honestly, 23 leads on an open house is great. So similar kind of deal. These are just tools that we're auto-generating every time you have an open house, right? Now, the other thing, which I think is down here is, so this company here, we're going to get into all this, right? Assist to Sell is I think they're just constantly running Google ads, right? With this. So they got 14 leads in the past 7 days for people that want to sell their home. So if you're doing it on Google or if you're doing it on Facebook, that's great. There are other great ways of getting, seller leads. And then down in Hawaii, these guys have been Remax in Hawaii. They generated 30 leads from this, right? From just this landing page. And all these landing pages that we're looking at, they are all, how do you say it, coming out of our platform. Peter Sabine has a free report for sellers. And this is actually interesting. So he's got a report, but he makes a landing page based on yard sales, right? Hey, this is happening in your neighborhood if you want to. So this is really something that's very different. Hey, we'll advertise your yard sale, right? He's just offering a service. So it's interesting. He's been doing this for a long time. And so he definitely likes that. So there are custom landing pages that you can do. They're the ones that we create out of the box. But here's another custom one here that somebody has created. And I just wanted to point that out because landing pages I do discuss, but we don't always get a sense of what they look like and what they're doing. And you can create all those kinds of landing pages inside of your Listings to Leads account. So before I dive into setup, I'm going to tell you this. If you're new to us, there's a lot that we do, right? And that's often overwhelming for plenty of agents. And especially when you tie that in with the theme of realtors in the United States, which is, I'm not very tech savvy. I hear this every week, multiple times. And we know that our clients are not tech savvy. And that's why we build this to be as easy as possible, but also as powerful as possible. So all that being said, you might want to take a few classes like the one we're on now. And if you don't have time to join me while doing this, or Scott when he's doing these classes, I always recommend checking out our YouTube channel and checking out the videos page right here, right? I do the Facebook and Google class. You definitely want to know what's going on with Facebook and Google and how to get leads, either buyer leads or seller leads. I also do top tools for more listings, right? Over here on the right, number 4. Scott's doing a lot of specific kind of topic targeted, right? Specific target coming soon, PDF guides, new construction. What do you do if you're thinking about short form videos, right? You don't maybe know how to do it. We give you a lot of options there. And then I go back and do Get Started, which we're doing today in Facebook and Top Tools. I even do a class for lenders if lenders are learning how to use our platform too. So that's all on our YouTube channel. You definitely want to check that out as you have time. The ROI on this is, I think, what's really important. And there are lots of great ways that realtors spend money on business, on leads, and all kinds of things like that, on advertising. What's really the question is, what is your ROI on that? And for many people, the ROI can be great. And for many more people, the ROI really doesn't work. And so that's when they start looking and finding us. And then the ROI really starts to work. And the reason why I'm talking about ROI is I highly suggest that you invest time on this page. Because for every minute you watch one of these videos and learn how this system works, you will, if you apply that, you will get an ROI. So let's dive into what we got to do here to make this thing work. What do we do as a brand new client? How do we set it up? When you sign up, we're going to drop you on a version of this wizard. And so maybe half of what you need to get done will get done. But we move so fast, we add things so quickly to our platform, that wizard, frankly, doesn't keep up. So I'm going to show you how I do it and how I think you need to set up your account. First of all, you go to your profile. And if you signed up for a free trial, we would have dropped you on some version of this right away. So we would say, hey, what's your picture? What's the name of your company? And that would all be in. I do want to point out, though, if you want your leads or things to go somewhere else, you can add other people here. Maybe you have an assistant, you want tools to go to, things like that. You can add that here. Branding is where you put your logo, right? And you choose your color scheme. And when we do that, your logo is going to look, so you want that to represent your branding, right? You can also choose the theme of what you like your tools to look like when we're auto posting, right? There's a lot of different themes. And you click the eyeball here to see it. It's going to look like that. 3 pictures, your little pic there. And so you can choose that. And I definitely recommend taking advantage of that. There is a lead gen signature buried in here. You might want to copy this and embed it in your email so that every time you're sending things out, there's always get your free home value there. And if you have reviews, it's there, right? Now, the other thing to do, there are 2 more things to do on the profile page. One is auto posting. And our wizard does this pretty well, but I don't think it's actually not complete. You want to make sure that you are connecting. When you click this the first time, it's going to drive you over to Facebook and it's going to say, what is this your name, right? And it go, yes, it's me. And when you click that, it then takes you to a page which shows all your business pages. And you check the real estate business pages that you want to use. Then it'll say, okay, and yes, and done, and boom, you're back here. And make sure that your business pages are highlighted like this in green, okay? Then connect to Twitter X, connect to LinkedIn, connect to, Instagram, and then connect to Google as well. If you have one of those little Google Market pages, we're going to auto post content there for you. So you can do that. You can also, before we go over there, what that does is that tells us to auto post your listings. We'll go look at what that looks like in a bit. You can also have us auto post our free home valuation landing pages. So if you like getting listing leads, why not just turn this on and tell us how often you want us to post to your socials? That way people can get a free home value, right? We also have a down payer assistance landing page. And yeah, you can turn that on. New construction, same thing. Turn it on, tell us how often, and we're going to blast it out. Now, every time we blast it out, it's not going to look like that. It's going to have a photograph. It's going to have that text. And it's going to have a link to the page where they can download that report. So I would turn all those on and then come over here to CRM integration. If you have, let me turn that off. If you have a CRM, you want to connect it. Okay. We got a lot of the top CRM APIs here. If you don't see yours here, check with your CRM and ask them, what is my email parsing email? It's not always use the same word, but the concept is every CRM, almost all, have a unique email just for you. And if you send a lead to that email, it will have your name and then some weird long number, and then it'll be at Follow Up Boss or something like that. You can put that there and save it. And that tells us anytime we capture a lead, send it to that destination, and then they will scrape it and drop it in your CRM for an automatic drip campaign. So you definitely want to set that up, because as you're capturing leads, you want to have that. If you don't have a CRM, we have some things that are going to help. So they're the API for those. And let's move over here to the left and let's talk about follow-ups. So I just showed you where you can connect your CRM, but what if you don't have a CRM? I would highly recommend that you come to the follow-ups page here. And what these are drip campaigns. And let me just say this for all of us to understand. When you capture a lead online and you call them one time and they don't answer or they don't know what you're talking about, that doesn't mean it's not a good lead. It just means you're going to have to work on it a while to convert the lead. And depending on where you get that lead, whether it's online, if it's an ad, if it's a print tool, or if it's blasted through your CRM, that's going to point to how much time you're going to have to put to convert it. Okay. So all that being said, you need some sort of drip campaign, and you should be texting your leads until they're ready to call. Go down here and turn on the seller lead follow-up and the buyer lead follow-up. And anytime you get a buyer lead, we're going to send that. Anytime you get a seller lead, we're going to send that too. I can tell you this, we have a great open rate, and I actually have spoken to clients where these follow-ups have been closing appointments. If your CRM is not closing appointments for you, you might want to turn these on and try them out. So we went through the profile. We went up here to follow-ups. Let's keep moving on, and let's go up to social content. Social content. This is the second time when you come here. Remember on the profile, I said, hey, go connect your social medias for social media auto posting. Now we're going to ask you again to connect your social media, but this time it's for doing free social media content. And this is not related to your listings, but it's powerful and good content. If you often wonder, what am I doing with social media? I want to have stuff there. I just don't know what to write. Come here, connect your social media, click here, tell us how often you want us to post. Our default is every other day, but you can do it every day if you want. And then choose your topics. And what we haven't discussed is the PDF guides, but I'm going to jump ahead. I mentioned earlier of call, we have 80 PDF guides. We'll go look at them in a couple of minutes. 40 of these are for buyers and 40 of these are for sellers. And you, the real estate agent, are branded on every page. And if you remember, one of the first things we did is we got your colors in there and your logo and your picture. So all of that is on every page of every PDF guide. And if you click this box here to activate it, we will send these seller PDF guides throughout the year. We'll have a landing page right behind it. So if somebody sees it and likes it, wants to download it, they just got to click and give you their contact info and they can download it. Same is true for buyers. Same is true for Spanish speakers. So if you're in a Spanish speaking community, you can use that as well. You got some holiday stuff, but here's really where a lot of the content is. It's like design, right? Kitchen design, dining rooms, living rooms. This is all colorful, light, conversational posts so that you don't have to take time and put that stuff out there. There's even stuff on outdoor living and home maintenance, hardscaping, even some real estate meme stuff and fun stuff like that. So you can add a little bit of things there and then not have to worry about it. Another cool thing that's hidden in the social content area is the LinkedIn bio. If you use not Facebook, but Instagram and TikTok, you will notice that it's really hard to actually pull a lead off of those platforms because they don't really put a lot of links and allow you to put links in there. And so what we have is something called linked in profile. You can copy it here and put it on your Instagram profile. And whenever you're doing something regarding real estate, right, you always want to say, check out my link in my profile. Here, we've got all your reviews. If you click in there, there's a whole website showcasing your reviews. Here is a marketing plan on how you can sell their home. And here are all your listings. Okay. And if they click on any of these listings, they're going to land on a single property website. It has all kinds of information and captures leads. And I mentioned earlier, we got the PDF guides, right? They can download it right here as long as they give you their contact information, right? So that's useful. And then articles and then landing pages. You can customize this thing, but if you're on Instagram or if you're on TikTok, I recommend that you copy that and put that in your profile right away. That dynamically changes with anything going on inside of your account. So it stays fresh, right? So that's the social content page. And the last thing I think we got to do, second to last, is click on the ads page. And this is the third time that we're going to ask you to connect to your social media accounts, right? And so you might really start to wonder, like, what's going on, right? But we're doing different things on these pages. And there are different software packages from Facebook that you need to accept to use. Let's go here. Now, mine's already turned on. So when you come here the first time, there's going to be a big button that says connect to Facebook and connect to Google. Start with Facebook. And it's going to open up Facebook and say, is that you? And there's your name. You click yes. And then second page says, okay, what business pages? And now you can run ads through your business page. All right. On Facebook. So that's set up. And I think the last thing I would recommend to finish setup, there's still two more things. One is to go over to client reviews. And client reviews, you can pull in automatically, you can sweep in reviews from Zillow, Google, and Testimonial Tree. If you have Google reviews on other platforms like Facebook or Yelp or there are other real estate focused deals, you can just copy and paste them and put them in there. The reason you want to do that is we actually make a web page that showcases all your reviews, right? So all your reviews are here and our marketing story on how you sell homes is here. And you can even snap in a review of somebody giving you a testimonial. Remember those PDF guides? All these topics for buyers or for sellers, they just got to give you their contact info. All your listings are here and your favorite landing pages are right here. This is a client review website. When you get your reviews here, copy this link, take it over to and tag your client and thank them. Because when you tag your client and you thank them for the review, they're going to say, okay, great. But you can thank them for working for them. And when you tag them, that means all their friends and family are going to see that. And they are now going to know that you are their realtor. And if you haven't figured it out, there's so much lead capture on this page that you're very likely going to capture a lead from your current client's sphere of influence. This is as close as you can get to a straight up referral. Okay. So leverage the client review page. And the last thing for setup is to go to the landing page section and type in, can anybody give me, Frank, you can't hear me? Can everybody hear me? Can you guys put in the question panel? Can you hear me? Yeah. Frank, hold on a second, guys. Check your speaker. Give me a second. Okay. Sorry about that. So where were we? We were talking about landing pages. Yeah. Does anybody here have a favorite town that they want more listings in? If you can put it in the chat panel, I'll let you know. Then we'll work on it. Lancaster, PA. Let's do it. We want to create a property valuation plus. That's how we get listing leads. Lancaster, is that where like big Amish country, Tamer? Is that right? I think I drove through Lancaster. So you can create an iBuyer page. There's a landing page for FSBOs, expireds, custom stuff, avoid foreclosure, all these things, right? but we want Property Valuation Plus. And I really recommend that you do this right off the bat, right? And click create landing page. So while that's baking, let's go up here. Yeah, I drove through Lancaster when I moved to Philly. I made a crazy turn in my life and moved from California to Philly, which is fine, but that's a different time. So when you get here to this page, we give you this generic thing. Okay. And let me really give you a good pointer here. You don't want to go out with generic and ask people their address and their phone number and email online, because they're not going to give it to you. I don't know if you're ever presented with a form where you got to give all that up, but you're probably not going to give it to people, especially if it looks like this, because that's like, I didn't even know who you are. Where are you from? Let me give you an idea of what works, right? Summit Diner. So, okay. So Summit Diner is a diner in New Jersey, right? And when I set up that account, I set up the office and team accounts. I go through a presentation teaching their agents how to use the system. And they said, God, the number one landing page for our business for getting listing leads is the landing page with the Summit Diner in the back, right? Now, Summit, New Jersey is like 22,000 people. It's not a big town. And this is an old kind of converted railroad car deal. So if the Summit Diner, Summit, New Jersey, and that is my point, is that you want to let people know that you know their area. So boom, put a picture right over here on the left where it says upload image and upload a photograph. Even your smartphone, if you hold your smartphone sideways, it will be big enough to fill up that page, right? Once you've created that, you save it, click on advanced options. You're going to see that there's a print tool. That is a great tool to get out there and market. This is going to help you get listing leads right there. There's even a postcard or a door hanger, right? And that's going to point people to that landing page so that you can get seller leads. So to me, that's set up, right? You want to at least get one of your landing pages ready for home valuation. And what I want to let you know is you get unlimited landing pages, right? You could get a landing page for every one of your farm markets. I know some got one here for Lancaster, but there's some adjacent towns. You might want to build a listing business there. You need to create that landing page for every town. Don't try to go out in the county, Bucks County or Broward County or whatever, because counties don't work, because you own a home in a city and you want top dollar for your home in that city. So you are really specialized in that area. And that's why landing pages speak to that. All right. So now that we've got all that stuff turned on, that's awesome. Let's start at the top and talk about how to market listings, right? So now that we've got all the settings turned, we got everything turned on, we should be able to auto sweep your listings. If your MLS doesn't work with our partner List Hub, then they won't auto sweep. We have a lot of clients in Canada. We don't auto sweep this, but you have the option of manually dropping it in. And if you're new to us and you sold a property, like in the past couple of months, I would recommend that you manually add that property, because our sold advertising will get you more listings. But you can also, if the property is active, you can grab the listing. Okay. And so for a lot of agents that they don't have their own listings, they might borrow one from a colleague or from somebody in their office and just drop in the zip code and the MLS ID and boom, grab it, pull it in. And the whole thing is sitting here, right? And it'll be on this list. And so let's look at, I'm going to add an open house here. I'm going to add an open house. And the listings usually hit automatically, but we don't always get notified via the MLS of an open house. So I'm just going to put one way out here in the front and add it. And that will auto generate a bunch of open house marketing tools. And we started the call on a landing page. Remember, I showed you, I'm a guy that generated 67 leads in 1 week. And it's got from just the tools of marketing an open house. One open house, 67 leads, right? So how in the world does that guy do that? He's using our tools to get people in. Somebody just asked, is this going to be emailed to you? No, this call is being recorded. It will not be emailed to you, but it will be on this YouTube channel right here, probably by this time tomorrow, if not sooner, right? So let me send this to everybody right now. In case you don't have this, this is our YouTube channel. I was speaking about it earlier. It should be flashing in your GoToMeeting panel. And definitely you want to review this page, and this call will be there tomorrow. All right. So here we are on listing marketing. I mentioned that you can grab a listing and pull it in. And once the listing, if it's yours or if it's borrowed, you're going to have all these options. Facebook and Instagram ads. We connected Facebook earlier. So what does that mean? That means that when I click this button, we have already pre-written an ad and clicked every button on Facebook that you need to click to have a successful ad. All you have to do is click create ad. Okay. And if there's something up here that we're not putting in the text of this ad, you could type it right in, right? Put in the name of the high school that everybody liked, right? Put it there. If you are in one of the southern states where it's nice and warm all the time, and you know that seniors like to move out of the cold areas like Chicago, you could do that too. Right here, you could target people in New York, Huntington Beach, Wyoming, right? I want you to come buy a house in the nice warm desert kind of deal, right? Boom, create the ad. Just so you know, when we're writing an ad for a property that's for sale, the default settings are $35. Okay. And that means that's the maximum you can spend. And $35 is going to be divided by the cost of the lead. Typically, when you're running an ad for a property that's for sale and you're trying to get buyer leads, those leads cost $3 each. And when you do that, you're getting buyer leads because we got an open house, it's for sale. And you divide 3 into 35. So you're going to get about 11 leads. You just create that, just create the ad here. Now, somebody asked, do just sold ads get more results? Just sold ads get results. I don't know more than what. They get seller leads. That's really all I can tell you. And more than what, Michelle? I'm not quite sure what what you are referencing. Here, social media auto post. When we were doing setup and we did social media auto posting, and I said we'll go look at it. This is what it looks like here, right? So it looks very similar to the ad, but slightly different. But over here, we're telling you that we already posted it. So when I click on that button, it's going to tell me, boom, that's what it looks like. So this is sitting on Facebook right now, right? It says it's sold. There's some emojis, going to affect your home value. Click here, right? So what is all that about? That means if somebody wants to click on this and we get there, it's going to have all kinds of information. At some point, there's going to be something here that's going to tell us, oh, yeah, so it's a little bit confusing because I added an open house to a home that's already sold. And so it's a little bit confusing. While it says open house, in actuality, this home is sold. And I should have chose a different property. But you can get the idea that when you're auto posting something, there will be a landing page behind it. So while we're doing it free auto posting, you're not really paying for that as an ad. You're still going to capture leads from it. If you have a big social media network, that's a really smart thing to do. We have tools for the sellers. We email these to you. Definitely take advantage of this. And this one says, hey, we've got an open house. When we email this to you, forward it to your client, email it to your client, call your client and tell them to put it on their wall. Okay. Now, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense because it says my home sold team. It actually will have your name at your office. So what the client is telling their friends and family and colleagues is that you are their realtor. If they click on this, they're going to land somewhere where they can become a lead. Okay. So definitely take advantage of that. The nearby homeowner letter right here is the #1 tool for capturing listing leads that turn into listing contracts. Let me show you let's go look at it first. Let's just go look at it. So you can download it there. When you see a pencil, you can edit it if you want. You can send it to yourself if you want, but I think I've downloaded it now. So let's look here. And this is very simple. Uh, by all means, this is not a sexy tool, right? It's very straightforward. Hey, I got an open house. Go check it out. That's going to affect your home value. Go get this. Go get your free home value right here. All these pages, this whole thing, and these 2 landing pages were automatically generated. You can customize this text up here. You can customize this text up here. I wouldn't do too much because this works. But the point is, if you're borrowing a home and you want to door knock something down, door knock this because you can get buyers and sellers. But our clients mail this to people who have equity. We have a partnership with a company called Express Copy here. And if I click and you've got a connection with them, you click print and mail, Express Copy will download that letter, fold it, put it in an envelope, and mail it to people with equity within 1 or 2 or 3 miles, right? Whatever you want. So if you've got a home for sale in a neighborhood where you want more listings, this is absolutely the way to do that. Now, it's going to send it to homeowners of single family homes who have owned for more than 6 years. 100 pieces of mail will go out for $185. Boom, click that green button and that's going to go out. I am going to show you though, that inside our mastermind group, that letter that I'm talking about is, oh, look at my parent. That letter that we're talking about we've had for over 10 years here, right? Our clients have been using it for years. And most of them don't really even pay attention to Express Copy. I just show you the easy way. Let me show you the hard way and explain to you why you might want to consider this. This is the same piece of paper. It's on a property that's sold. I think she customized it and said, hey, the home sold on 15th, it closed on the September 15th. She prints on the back of the paper. I've never seen another client do this. She hand folds these things, hand writes the addresses. You can see it looks like a custom stamp for her street. That's actually done by the printer. Why in the world would Pat go through all that? I'll tell you right here. She mailed 100 of these letters when it was just listed. She had 4 homeowners calling her for home value reports. Calling her. They don't even want to go to the address on the piece of paper to go figure it out themselves. There's no, I just want to sell my home next year. On this post that we read here, she is sending out the second 100 to another group of people in the same radius because the home is sold. She got another 4 people. So one home, 200 pieces of mail has got her 4 listings that want to sell this year. All right. And I'll bet you a lot of other people are holding that piece of paper. They might be thinking about selling, but they just didn't call her. I'll bet you she's going to find even more business out of that same mailing. Pat, if you search her name in the mastermind group, and by the way, I forgot to mention, you should get in our mastermind group, ask the support team. She comes in here every year saying, oh, I'm mailing this out now and I'm doing that. Pat was even gracious enough. If you look for her name, that little back end printing for the back of the piece of paper, she gave that software, that whatever script is, and she's got it somewhere in here because people were asking, how did you do that? So she shared that with people. And I definitely recommend, if you feel like doing the heavy lift for better results, you might want to just look up her name. Now we have an e-flyer for your database. Whenever you see these words, that means if you have a lot of people in your CRM, copy the e-flyer for the database. Here, there's 2 links and a picture. You click on any of those, you're going to land on a page and become a buyer lead. When you scroll down, it's going to say that affects your home value. You can click on this and get a listing lead, right? Yeah, we create short form video scripts for people that want to make videos for social media. We have great single property websites and virtual tours. We have postcards and door hangers. We have sign writers, blogs, posts, Craigslist, QR codes. All these are auto-generated on your listing, okay? Now, I mentioned the PDF guides earlier because I told you that we're going to auto post them in the social content area. But there are a lot of ways to market the PDF guides besides just posting them to your socials. And when we come here, you'll know that we have 40 for buyers, 40 for sellers. The colors, your logo, your contact information are on every page of these, okay? If you click on market, you can see you can run an ad on Facebook. You can run an ad on Google. You could do share social media posts, but I showed you how we can do it automatically. There's an e-flyer for your database, meaning you can blast it out and have a link already embedded so they can download it. Print flyers and door hangers and landing pages. All of these options for all 80 of these reports, all of these options capture leads. I hope if you have downtime and you're looking for more business, you are taking advantage of that section. And then we talked about landing pages already. We talked about the client review page. Let's talk about ads. Now, ads is what gets a lot of people excited. There is a cost for ads, and that's just the way it is because you're advertising on some company. But if you don't have a big social media network or a big database in your CRM of people that you can blast, then you definitely want to know about this. If you're a new agent, you want to know about this, right? So let's say that we've got a property valuation plus page. I'm not going to do Lancaster because Lancaster is, this is creating a landing page. So I'm in the wrong section. Sorry. I wanted to show you how to run ads. And so now on Facebook, there are 3 kinds of ads. There are 4, but 3 that you should focus on. Running a listing ad, running a landing page ad, and running a PDF guide ad. Okay. And as this page pulls up, we'll look how. So on the previous section, I showed you how to run an ad for a home that's for sale. Now I want to show you how to run an ad on a home that is sold. And like I said earlier, if you run ads on properties that are pending or sold, you are going to get listing leads. So you just make sure that the status is up to date. After it's pending or sold, you click create listing ad. You choose the property that is, here's one that's pending and sold. The text, let's just click it and we'll look at it. It's essentially the same thing, right? It's basically going to say this home is about to close and that's going to affect your home value. Click here for your home value, right? Now, this is a $50 ad, and that's because when a home is sold, these leads cost around $7 each. So you could expect around 7 leads, right? It runs for 1 week. And if you want, you can increase more budget, but that's just how it works, right? Now let's go over and let's run an ad on a PDF guide. Now, I mentioned that there are buyer PDF guides and there are seller PDF guides, but since we did a sold ad, let's look at this from a listing lead generation perspective, right? Let's focus on seller leads. Now, I would just click here. Here's one, how to avoid foreclosure. Okay. And there are 40 other reports for sellers. Click create ad. And then you type in the name of your favorite town. Lancaster, right? PA. Is that right? And you can, but I didn't do that right. You want to make sure that blue like that. You could expand the radius if you want. Okay. So if you're comfortable driving 30 miles for business, expand the radius, right? So it's a $50 ad. These leads, when you're running ads for PDF guides, those leads often cost around $10 each. So if they're charging you $10 each, that means you're going to get about 5 leads if you're spending $50. Okay. So that kind of works there. And let's go do the one that really a lot of agents love to do. They just don't know how to do it correctly. So I'm really glad you're here. Running a landing page ad. Instant home value. I'm going to do one for right here in Orinda. This is by me. And I'm going to type in this zip code 9549. And I'm going to do lead ads and create. Okay. So always leave it on the default settings here. Okay. On lead ads. So when you type in the zip code, it actually tells you how many homes sold the previous month. And it gives you the high. And it says that affects your home value. Click here. So you would think that typing in the word of the name of the city, like Orinda, would be the way to do it. And if you're running a home valuation ad that speaks about a city like Orinda, that might be your first mistake. And there are 2 mistakes that I see agents do fairly frequently. One is they run it just like we're doing here because it's obvious. It makes sense, right? But the other thing they do is they just go with a totally generic landing page. What I have in that picture there is a theater that's probably 70 years old in the center of Orinda. If you live in Orinda, you know that theater, right? So again, it's a landmark that tells people who you don't know that you know their area, right? Because you're trying to get their address and contact information. You got to have some sort of trust, right? But the real mistake, one is going generic. Two is using Facebook's targeting. It's frankly, for getting seller leads with a page like this, it's not usable. What you want is a custom audience. And I don't have a custom audience for Orinda built, but I do have a custom audience. So if I had one that said Orinda homeowners, I could just type in Orinda homeowners and it would look like that blue box. And everybody on that list, if they're on Facebook, they would see this ad. Now, where do you get a list like that? Right? You could go over to List Source. You ever heard of them? From CoreLogic. I think Remind does. It's a lot of our clients over the years have been using Remind, but I think they've got a problem with their MLS relationships. And basically, I don't know how long it's going to be lasting, but this company sells these lists pretty inexpensively. You want them by city and by how many years of ownership, and basically target anyone with more than a couple of years of ownership, right? And then upload it in the system and use it as a target. So let's go over here and see what I mean about custom audiences. When I go to the ads page, I have on the top of the page, I have 3 buttons. 2 are green, one for Facebook ads, one for Google ads. Okay, we're almost there. I'm waiting for the page to pull up. And I have a 3rd button that says create audience. And while we're waiting for that to come up, I'll just tell you that creates an audience in your personal Facebook account, okay, on your business page. And nobody can see it, but you can use it to target people. Now we're on the ads page, and right here it says create audience. And this is really, if you want to have listings in real estate, you definitely want to follow this. You want to create an audience that says Lancaster homeowners or Orinda homeowners, right? You buy that list from whoever you buy it from. It has to be 1,000 leads long, 1,000 names long. It has to look like this. And this is really important. Where it says use this, it must look like this. When you buy a list from a company, it's going to have, you see how it's like A, B, C, D across the top right? That means there's 4 columns. When you buy a list, it often has 20 columns of data, right? The address, this and that, whatever. You need to boil it down to 4 columns, and they need to have those titles and that data underneath it. Then you import it here. Well, you upload it here, you import it here. That means it's going to be imported into Facebook. And now you can start using that as targeting your ads. If you're a listing agent that really focuses on having listings, you want to go through that step. You only need to set it up one time. And if you have 4 or 5 markets, you need to set each audience up for each market. If you've got a little kind of, what do you call it, like a development of 250 homes, you're going to have to throw other people in that list. Facebook will not allow you to target a list of 250 homes. It has to be 1,000 deep. Look at that. So now we know we can run sold ads, we can run pending ads, buyer ads, and landing pages. Let's talk about Google. Again, Google it's the #1 website in the country. Okay. And if you are a listing agent that sort of wants to be managing more than 5 or 10 listings at a time, you already know about Google. And you're probably paying somebody thousands of dollars to run ads on Google. And I know why, because it's hideous. The Google platform to create an ad is even more difficult than Facebook, and I don't really recommend it. But that's because you could definitely make a mistake. However, if you type in Orinda here and click publish, this is going to create an ad in just 2 clicks. Right? Type in the name, click publish. And it's telling you we're going to drive people to this landing page. So we're going to drive them to the right place. All we have to do is click publish. The thing is, this will publish a 7-day ad for $50 a day, which that kind of spooks a lot of people. So I need you to understand what's going on here, because you're exposed to $350. If you live in Dallas, Texas, right now, a lead from an ad like this costs $30. Remember how I said on Facebook, a buyer lead is $3? Now a seller lead on Google costs $30. If you are in Western Pennsylvania, Lancaster, over in Reading, these leads cost $22 each. I don't know what they cost in Lancaster. Maybe a little more, a little less. I don't know. In Utah, they cost around $17. I've even heard people say that they can get them for $10. Here, if you live in Vancouver, up in British Columbia, Canada, these leads from an ad like this cost $200 to $300 each. Okay. Only the big teams compete on Google in that part of Canada. So for newer agents, you can compete on Facebook, right? And you can use our tools that are for free on the CRM, and you can share things on social media, and you can afford to compete there. But you may not want to be competing on Google if you manage one listing a month. You might, because you will increase your listing count and you start to get to 2 and 3, and that's part of investing in ROI. So I definitely recommend Google if you're looking for listings. I really don't recommend Google too much if you're looking for buyers. I definitely recommend Facebook. So that's my story. Do we have any questions? I know I've talked about a lot of stuff here. There's a lot to the platform. You want to use as much as it as you can, but it takes a while to understand that, right? I said this kind of quickly. Go to our support team and ask them to get you in the mastermind group if you haven't been here. And I highly recommend you scan this for 5 minutes a week. That's all you need. You don't need to hang out here every day and chat with everybody. Thanks, Christian. But you want to know what's coming on down the pipe. You also want to know what other agents are doing that's working, right? Yeah, here's somebody just did a leads ad, tons of leads with minimal ad spend. Oh no, he said, and now he's getting fewer results, right? So I don't know what's happening there, but he's saying, yeah, we used to get a lot of leads, but we're getting less. So I'm not sure what he's doing, but that's what you can ask questions. Scott's talking about the new technology that's coming. We're sharing the new stuff that's happening. So definitely check this out, right? Let's see, what else do we got? I think that's my story. I don't see any questions. If you have any, let me know. Otherwise, this call is being recorded. It will be on the mastermind group, and go check it out there in the mastermind group when we post it, or go find it on our YouTube channel. It should be there tomorrow. I don't see any more questions. Thanks everybody for joining me. Have a great week, and let our support team know if we can help you. Bye-bye.